Good morning, my darlings. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you've had a good start to the week. On the day of filming, it is currently Sunday, and I've had one of those lovely, very slow, relaxed Sunday mornings. I had my ultra pamper shower. I tend to reserve those for Sunday mornings, and I just have a hair mask in, full body exfoliation, all that jazz, and so I'm feeling squeaky clean right now. I'm letting my hair dry naturally today because it's Sunday and I can't be bothered to do anything with it. So I thought I'd come and chat to you while my hair dries, and then I am desperate to get outside. Shock horror. I always feel like when I sit here, the lighting is so harsh on my face that it makes me look quite ghostly, but I'm also fully down to my natural skin colour because hopefully tomorrow I should be receiving a very exciting new tanning product, a new innovation. So I thought I would get myself prepped, completely tan free, ready to use it, but I also needed to be tan free because I've done my IPL laser hair removal this morning. I'm now down to doing it every 6 weeks-ish. I have to put notes in my diary because I've been doing the at-home IPL for so long. I have to remind myself to keep doing it, otherwise I would just forget. Because in the early days you remember because you see hair growth, you shave, and then you do your laser hair removal, but now that there's not really any hair growth, I have to really remind myself to do it. It's been a little while since I updated you on my at-home laser hair removal, and it's still something that I do get quite a few comments on, so I thought I would run through a little bit of an update. As you may know, I do work with Kenzzi, and that is the device. Let me just show you, actually balanced on the box that I keep it in. I do work with Kenzzi, and I have been using this device. I think actually we are approaching the 1-year anniversary that I have been using my Kenzzi, so now feels like a really good time to update you guys. To start from the top, a little bit of backstory. So I was going into a salon to get laser hair removal done in London, but to be honest, I always just found it a little bit inconvenient, not to mention expensive, and I tried laser hair removal years and years ago at home and thought, gosh, this is such a good idea, but stupidly I just gave up on it. I think I got to the point where the hair wasn't really growing back, and I just stopped doing it because I didn't see the need to keep doing it, and lo and behold, of course, because I didn't keep it up, the hair returned back. So I went for a few sessions at a clinic in London, and then lockdown struck. So I was looking to keep it up. So at home laser hair removal was the obvious solution. So the Kenzzi device itself, the cost of this is the same cost as maybe 1 or 2 treatments in a professional salon. So for long-lasting results, you have to keep zapping. To begin with, you want to do it every couple of weeks, but then as you start to notice that the hair removal is getting more permanent, which usually is noticeable after about 12 weeks, then you can cut it down to doing it every month or every 6 weeks, but it is important that you stay on top of it because that just helps to prevent the hair from growing back in the ultra long term. So for me, my whole kind of ethos when it comes to beauty is that I want to use products that make my life easier. I'm not the kind of person that spends 15 or 20 minutes doing my makeup in the morning. I do when I'm vlogging it, but otherwise, to be honest, I spend like 5 minutes doing my makeup. I just want something quick, and I like products that just do the job really well. So my whole aim really is to make my beauty routine and my beauty maintenance as easy as possible. So that was why I originally wanted to switch to laser hair removal, because it's so easy to do. There's no downtime in between, because unlike waxing or epilating, you actually have to have the area freshly shaved before you do this. So you don't have any time in between like waxing where you have to wait for the hair to get to a certain length before you can do it. That I did find particularly annoying about waxing in particular, not to mention the painful element. But because this is so quick and easy, it makes it easier to stick to. I would recommend popping a little reminder in your calendar. So to begin with, I would do that every couple of weeks. Now, as I said, I do it every 6 weeks or so, basically whenever I do a video, because this is my reminder to update you guys on the process. But then aside from the days you're actually doing it, you can just completely forget about it because it is so quick to see the results. You don't need to worry when the sun finally shows its face and we're starting to wear nice dresses, nice skirts. You don't need to worry about, oh my gosh, have I shaved my underarms today, for example, because after a few times of using this, you will just be hair free all the time. It is a more permanent form of hair removal. So if you do want to get to that point where you are not worrying about whether you have shaved or not for summer, then now would be a really good time to start doing this. I will leave my usual discount code link on the screen and in the description box down below. That will save you $50. And then the first time you use it, I would recommend having one of those incredible pampering showers, full body exfoliation. I would recommend being freshly shaved as well. And then when you turn it on for the first time, it comes with an ultra long wire, so even if there isn't a wire near your bed or wherever you want to do it, don't worry, because this wire is ultra long. So you'll see a little green light flashing in the background, and then what you can do is press that green light, and you can see here 1 bar flashing, 2 bar, 3 bar, 4 bar, 5 bar. Just turn it off while we chat. And those are the different strengths that you can use. So you could start on 1 or 2 or 3, depending on the sensitivity of the areas, and then you can work your way up to a slightly stronger strength. And all you have to do is basically press this to the area that you want to zap and press this massive middle button. It's super duper easy to get started. After doing this for a couple of weeks, you'll probably start to notice a real lack of regrowth after about 8 to 12 weeks is, I would say, a typical amount of time. So before summer, you'll be noticing amazing results. It's actually incredible how this works. Basically, the reason that you have to be so closely shaved is because, and not waxed, is because it actually needs that little bit of hair that's like just underneath the skin. And remember, I'm not a scientist here, but this is how I kind of think about how it works. It needs that hair underneath the skin in order to get the laser. The laser kind of travels through the melanin in the hair to the hair root, and by zapping that hair root time and time again, the hair root eventually just gives up and it stops producing new hair. So you might notice that the hairs start to get a little bit finer and then they just won't grow back at all, which is amazing. So a couple of other benefits. Obviously, I've mentioned the cost, and you have enough zaps in this for like 10 years of use. So think about how much it would cost you to go for your waxing appointments in 10 years, or the amount of razors that you potentially get through in 10 years. All of those salon appointments, super duper expensive. Plus just the fact that you can do this in the comfort of your own home. Emphasis on the word comfort, because I personally don't experience any pain when I use this. Sometimes people with slightly darker hair than me, I know that some people have said it feels a little bit like if you take a hair bobble and snap it onto your skin. Sometimes I've heard some people describing the feeling as this, but overall it is really gentle. You can use it on most areas of the body, not near the eyes, but you can use it on your face, bikini area, etc. is totally fine. The main thing that you need to remember is that the hair that you are zapping needs to be dark. So that's actually why I personally don't use this on my legs, because my leg hair is quite fine. So that's not an area that I want to use it in, because you need the color of your skin and the color of your hair to have quite a big contrast in order for the laser to actually be able to work. Something else to remember, and that does mean that you shouldn't have a tan, whether real or fake, when you are doing this. That's why the day after my ultra pamper is always amazing, because I have at this point scrubbed off all of my fake tan. So this is literally as pale I'm the same colour as my top. This is literally as pale as I will get, so it's ideal time to do my IPLing. So that is what I have been doing so far this morning. Literally takes me about 1 minute to do my zapping, so it's just super duper quick, easy for me, completely pain-free, and the results I'm so happy with. That is why I continue to work with Kenzzi, continue to talk about them. It's just fantastic. It's one of those things that you will just wonder, why everyone doesn't do it, because it's so good. So if you're interested, I would highly recommend. It'll be linked at the top of the description box, and that will save you your $50. I did have a few questions last time about delivery. Mine took about a week to arrive, and as always, if you do have any questions about it, then just let me know and I will get back to you in the comments section of the video down below. Now my hair is still a little bit damp. I might just quickly whiz through with my air wrap, and then yes, I can see a few little bits of blue sky. Don't know what outside jobs I'm going to do today, but do you know what? I never actually spoke you through my plan for the bottom of the garden. So we'll go down there together, and then I'll explain my plan and the next steps. Okay, hair is roughly dried. Now it's time to get into the garden. This is one of my favourite things to see on a Sunday morning. Dickens just summing up how everybody feels. Enjoying the sunshine. Surveying his kingdom. Mummy, please, you're disturbing me. And I would like kisses.
Need a haircut.
I do, I'm so scroof. And of course it's not long until the king arrives. I love the sunshine.
He's such a vlog bomber.
It's all go in the kitchen. We are about to start making a dishoom naan bacon breakfast extravaganza, very kindly sent to us by Em and Matt. And it's basically, I think in here we've got dough for some naans, and then you add bacon, coriander, tomato, and I think you add fried eggs as well. So this is going to be scrumptious, and then we're just going to add a little bit more of our own bacon as well. And Charlie is busy, full swing prep for today's roast, of course. And today we have a roast pork. It's already been in the oven for an hour or so. It's smelling incredible. And we've got, so what are these for?
So I just line it up now. It's sort of a bit of a process. So the that bowl there with the rosemary in is with garlic and rosemary for the roasties.
Yeah.
It just saves me time later. And that's what I'm peeling now. And then that is for the cauliflower cheese.
Yum!
So
and then we've
for
got
the cauliflower cheese, obviously, in the cheese sauce, we do garlic, clove.
You're so dirty.
I know. Don't worry, I've been washing my hands. It's from the gravel workout that we've just had. Yeah, so
Tulips are looking rather gorgeous. It's just so nice to have such colour in the kitchen. And speaking of which, our daffodils have just bloomed as well in the fabulous Tory Burch cauliflower jug, which actually Charlie didn't like to begin with, but now I think you've come around now that you've seen it in full bloom, haven't you?
Well, I chose those daffodils.
No, I mean the jug.
Yes, yeah, well, I think it works really well with daffodils or tulips. It's
Yes.
not great for a lot of other flowers.
It needs to be a flower that's quite short and yet quite voluminous. Oh, daffodils are just so lovely.
They're the best flower to buy this time of year because they're a bargain as well.
Yeah.
And they last for ages.
Did you know the farm that was doing the sunflowers are doing daffodils?
I saw that.
We should go for a little walk maybe tomorrow and see how it looks. Spuds getting prepared, ready for Charlie's legendary roast potatoes. That's just such a lovely view. The kitchen on a bright, fresh spring morning.
Check out my new knife.
Wow.
Seen it?
Oh, Blenheim Forge.
Yeah, and the one over there, look.
Boys and their
Absolutely
toys.
worth it.
You're so lovely. Where's your elder brother gone? What was he howling at? What's he been howling at? And I think we'll have our bacon brunch out here. Still not quite used to how bare this looks, but in 10 days we are having our yew hedge put in down here, which will just add, they call it garden rooms, where you have different sections to your garden. So we'll have a lovely yew hedge down there. This hedge is looking so much better.
Holly trees?
Holly trees are going in next week as well. A couple of holly trees here to just hide the houses. It's going to be a big transformation this month. If you carry on watching my vlogs throughout the rest of this month and into early April, you're going to see this garden change so much. It's going to be unbelievable. Charlie was busy freshly squeezing some orange juice yesterday morning. So with that, the perfect Sunday morning is complete. Ooh, that's a good looking trivet tray.
Yeah.
Have you taken a picture of that?
No, I haven't, but actually I will.
That's a good one for hungry. You should do a series of stories on how to do the perfect trivet. And that is just so colourful. Beautiful.
See, normally I would have celery in there, but we don't have celery this week, so I've just added a bit more leek than I normally would. But the key is, with the meat juice as well,
yeah,
and obviously a stock cube, that just creates the best gravy ever.
It does.
And to be honest with you, if I wasn't cooking pork, if I was doing chicken, I would actually do the gravy totally separately. So I wouldn't even, the chicken juices and stuff, I wouldn't even bother. I'd just use chicken stock and then make the gravy now and then just heat it up later, and it saves you that extra bit of effort.
Very good. Doing your best, Marco Pierre White.
Yeah, I mean, that's the first time that your lovely subscribers will hear his name, and it definitely won't be the last, because I am...
The first time they hear his name from you.
From me, I mean.
Yeah.
Because I basically, on the way back from having to go to London the other day, I didn't really fancy doing emails, and I procrastinated and came across BBC Masterclass. This is in nowhere now.
Maestro.
BBC Maestro, which is exactly like Masterclass. It was £80, but it's for like, I don't know how many short video clip cooking lessons, I guess, by Marco Pierre White. And I've always known of him, but I've never really seen him on TV, and I find him captivating. His voice, like, I think we think he went to elocution school, don't we? Because the way he pronunciates words and he whispers at the end, and everything he says is you just listen. Don't you?
It's very well filmed as well, like the way they do close-ups on his hands when he's doing like gestures.
Not to mention the fact that he is one of the greatest chefs of all time. First ever British restaurant to get
Who are
3
you more
Michelin
influenced
stars.
by, Marco Pierre White or Monty Don?
I mean, even like, I think the debate now is between, because Jamie Oliver, I love a lot of his recipes because he simplifies cooking.
Yeah.
But as I'm learning more in the kitchen, I still love Jamie Oliver, but Marco Pierre White, some of the stuff that he does, it's still simple, but he takes, that's the whole point of that
Just
series.
small tips that you really take away.
Yeah, I
Like
think,
something that he said that I will now always do is he said to always make sure you do your pasta in a pan that's almost too big for the job, so that the pasta doesn't like all sit on top of each other. It needs to have room to move around in the bubbling water. And he also said the rule about you should always start eating as soon as you're served your food. Eat it while it's hot, otherwise it's sacrilege. Don't plate, if you're the chef, don't plate stuff up in the kitchen then take it to the table. He was saying it should always be done family style, like everyone just helps themselves, serve it in the bowl or the dish that you cooked it in, so that it's still nice and hot, and the only person that you ever wait for when you're eating hot food is the Queen. And actually I did already know that from my
that's Debrets, isn't it?
Yeah.
But, I mean, a lot of what he says in it, just, you know when you watch something and it just resonates in every way?
Yeah.
So if anyone actually, it is a good gift idea with Mother's Day approaching. If anyone's got a mother that's really into their cooking, genuinely, it was something I considered for Mum, but I don't think she'd have time to do it. But it's in 7-minute little bites. And once again, to reiterate, this is in no way sponsored. I've never heard of it until the other day.
No, I hadn't.
And I have had Masterclass before, which in truth I think the BBC have copied, but it's just filmed in a much better way. And the key thing is it's more bite size.
Yeah.
So I think on average each little video clip's like 7 minutes. So what I'm doing at the moment is when we're working from home, obviously at lunch, I just watch 2 or 3.
So good.
There you go. And he loves salt and butter and everything. But these
Carrots are so underrated when they're done properly. I mean, look at that. So he's got butter in the pan, oil in the pan, proper skin on, root on
later, but we won't
carrots.
be doing it now because obviously this is just pre-prep, isn't this?
Oh, honey.
A little bit of honey. So basically,
When
olive
it's
oil and
about to
butter,
go in.
it's not. They're not going to. When it goes in, I'll stick that in. And the beauty is olive oil and butter. I don't know why, but in my head, I had it that you wouldn't do the two together, but they blend together because basically olive oil stops the butter from burning.
Right.
But equally, the butter and the olive oil mix, and then it creates this beautiful sort of syrupy-like formula. And then a bit of that sweetness. Marco would approve of that.
That is just so beautiful, isn't it?
It is,
Like,
yeah.
that looks amazing.
But food should be beautiful. That's the thing, isn't it? It should look pretty even in that. Because actually, we won't today because it's just the 3 of us. But if we were cooking for a large group, I would just serve that now on the table. Like
Yeah, that's why you
And then
should
it
get
looks
some
pretty.
really attractive pans, because
Well, the best thing
you're
we
gonna...
bought, I mean, I've been investing in a lot of things for this kitchen the last sort of year because I've got more into my cooking. But this was the best thing I've bought in a long time. Falcon enamelware, and I think it was about 80 or 100 pounds. But for the set, which is 3 of these which fit in each other, and then the 2 small ones. And you never. So I've got the larger one, which is here, then this one, and then the one that the pork's on, and then the 2 small ones, which are like almost good for like mac and cheese.
Hell yeah.
And then but the best thing is they jigsaw in, so they all fit in. I mean, they're game changing.
Yeah. Look at that. This is a sign that spring is on its way. We've got the table laid, ready for our bacon butties, which I'm ravenous for. Let's get cracking on the bacon, darling.
There's going to be lots of leftovers. Problem is with this recipe is it's such good value as well, but the problem with this recipe is really a small piece. It cooks a lot quicker, and you don't. The fat doesn't disappear, because obviously we're cooking this for 6 hours total, including resting time, but at a really low temp. But if you get a really small bit, because the recipe for 6 really, but obviously there's only 3 of us, if you get a small bit, it cooks a lot quicker. Do you remember I did it once?
Yeah.
Just the 2 of us, and it's not quite as nice. So this was 20 quid, or just over, from our butchers. I'd rather do that and have some leftovers.
What would you pay for a bit that big in London?
Like, honestly, I think nearly double.
Wow.
I mean, bear in mind, when we lived in London, we used to go to one of the most expensive butchers because that was near us. So I'm sure there's more affordable butchers in London. And don't get me wrong, Bowen & Sons is amazing, but we are now seeing that you pay the price for it.
Quite.
I mean, even our butchers here that we go to is one of the more expensive ones in the Cotswolds. But
just happens to be our local.
I find it to be quite good value.
Yeah. And here we go, the perfect Sunday brunch. This is a Dishoom bacon naan butter. Yum. Okay, so this is how it's currently looking down in the kitchen garden. We've got some fertilised soil on the top of the beds here. It's going to be quite rainy next week, so hopefully it'll all mulch down and nourish the soil underneath, because we do have clay soil here. And as you might have seen in the last video, I popped some coffee grounds in this bed, so it should be nice and rich in nitrogen. And then, as you can see, we have excavated the old mint roots, because mint just completely takes over flower beds. We're limiting it to this trough this summer, and yeah, you can see it really has just tried to take over this whole flower bed from one teeny tiny little plant. So anybody looking to grow mint, make sure you do it in a container, because it will take over your beds otherwise. Now I'm going to do a little bit of weeding in this bed here. This one hopefully will become my sweet pea bed for now. Strawberries and raspberries in that one. Again, I need to do something with the mint roots. And then we've got a few little shoots coming up here already. A few signs of life. They look like little crocus roots. I can't actually remember what they are. But hopefully this will be looking pretty very soon. And I need to just trim back ever so slightly the roses and cut back the stalks of the peonies. We have something red starting to shoot out the ground there. I think that might be the start of some new peony growth. And then the plan for this square area is to take out all the little bushes. I think my mum wants a few, and I might actually take a picture and pop it on the local Facebook group, see if anybody wants to come and pick up some of these bushes. The pom-pom trees are staying, and then I'm going to mark this out into maybe 12 squares, and this will become my cut flower garden. I've got a bit of an obsession with cosmos, so I think I'll do loads of cosmos in here. And I'm not too sure about this end bed here. It does get a little bit of shade from the tree, and we figured out that something to do with the leaves falling onto this bed and then mulching down does something to the acidity of the soil, because everything that grows in this bed is always purple. So purple roses, purple alliums, everything in here is purple. Again, I just need to do a little bit of care for the soil, a bit of mulching, get it looking good. I don't think there's any hope for these triangles down here. They just need a little bit of a tidy up, really. So that's the plan. I'm going to start by doing a little bit of weeding. Even though it's only 6 degrees outside, it is toasty in the greenhouse, so the thermal layers have come off. And I don't think we're due another frost, so I'm going to pop those down there. I also popped some fleece on these little seeds. So let's hope they all survived last night, which was quite chilly. Some of my cosmos appear to be going a little bit yellow. I definitely need to plant a few more flower seeds over the next couple of days. But first, it looks like we need to do a little bit of watering. What do you think, Dexy? We have a new trestle table in as well. Some bits which need planting once I finish doing the beds. Puppies will not drink Mummy's coffee. So naughty! Cheeky Well, this is brilliant. I put a post up on our local Facebook group about an hour ago, and someone's come and they're going to collect all of our box hedges. So they're going to have a new home somewhere in the village, and my bed will be clear, ready for my cut flower garden. So Charles has been digging them all out. There's a lady you can probably hear on the gravel reversing her car up. I'm going to pop them in a boot, ready to be planted. Okay, half the box hedging is gone. We still have half of it left, but I've just had another message on Facebook, so hopefully we'll have the rest of it gone later on. Oh, what are you thinking with that?
Well, that's coming down, isn't it? So now, what if we use it in here?
Yeah, lovely. Could grow something up it, can grow my sweet peas up it.
I think this side.
Yeah.
Random or not?
You helping, Dixie? Charlie is ripping up the wood, the rotten wood from the old raised beds. And are we going to burn it or?
No, I think we'll
recycle centre.
Yeah, I mean we don't burn anything, so I don't know. We might use some of the non-rotten wood for kindling.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
It's gonna have to just go to the recycling centre.
Yeah.
I don't know what they do with it. It probably does eventually get burnt.
Pulp. Wood pulp. It's starting to look good down here. Once we've got the wood away from the beds, we'll probably line them with some of the red brick down there. Dexy's helping in his own special way. Where's my chicken? And I am starting the task of clearing these little triangular beds, just to tidy it all up. Gosh, I apologise for all of the hyperlapses. I never know if they're just the most boring thing in the whole world or actually quite therapeutic to see the work being done at 20 times the normal speed. So the bottom beds, I'm just tidying really. Lots of old branches on them, and we are churning over the soil, putting some more fertile soil on them so that we can have a very productive veg garden later in the year, hopefully. I did find during my digging this little item, which looks like, I don't know, maybe it was once a rose head or even the middle of a peony. The way that it's going purple makes me think that this might be a little baby peony plant, but it was just lying on the surface and it's obviously desperate to grow. So I thought I would, what should I pop it in? I've got so many plant pots in here. I might just pop it in one of these and give it a bit more fertile soil. And I think we might have a lovely plant here. There we go. Just going to nestle him into here in some nice compost. Okay, I've just planted it, watered, and I've just written mystery bulb, 7th of March. Might be the 8th today. Who knows, but I'm going to pop him somewhere. Over there. We've just had someone else turn up for the bushes. I had to delete the post because we were getting so many people asking about them. But now we know if there's anything that we don't want in the garden. Locals in the village are eager to take them off our hands. Right. It's nearly 5 o'clock, so I need to go and get my video ready. So I'm just going to bring all of my tools back inside and I'll give you a quick rundown of what we've achieved today. Okay, so I showed you these earlier. That car noise is someone else who just had to turn away for the bushes. So these beds have now got the fertilised soil on top of them. This one is de-weeded. We then need to break up this clay soil and churn it over like this one here. De-weeded, churned over, and we've added the fertile soil. And I think tomorrow hopefully Charlie's going to bring some of the bricks from around here and lay it around the edge to create a bit of definition. This one's going to be a really big job to dig up the mint roots. hopefully it's achievable. This is where the bushes all were. They're all out, and I'm going to create some separation in here, some little string markers for when I can do my planting, and this will hopefully be filled. Gosh, I'm going to rewatch this video in June, and hopefully this will just be filled with overflowing cosmos and alliums and everything else. And we've got these lovely tubs that will hopefully get plonked in the middle here to separate out some more different flowers. This is where I found my mystery bulb. We think this might be an allium. Then we've put some more fertile soil around the roses. Lots of little bulbs around here sprouting through. Fertile soil going in. And then I've just raked these beds, ready for them to be turned. And I was just thinking, this might be the area. You can see how it used to be another raised bed, but it's all rotted away. I might do some pumpkins and maybe courgettes down here if the soil will let me. We shall see. It's a nice area of the garden to get that late afternoon sun. Church in the background. So that's the process so far. We've been busy bees, and we are very deserving of our roast pork, which will be ready in about an hour's time. Gosh, the lighting in this room is rather stunning at this time of day. Not that it shows up very well on camera. We got another captain's chair, I think from eBay. So now we have matching, not quite the same colour of green, but who cares? So I'm just going to base myself up in here for 10 minutes and get my video ready. Then it's time to lay the table for our Sunday roast. Wow, look at that early evening sunshine coming through while we've been busy in the garden. The chef, the master, has been at work. My mouth is watering so much right now. It smells so good.
I feel like today we're really, because we're eating a bit later, aren't we?
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm really going to enjoy this because we've done a lot of calories today.
So I read somewhere that weeding can burn 200 calories an hour, but like doing the soil can burn 1,000 calories an hour. Yeah, when you think about it, when you're like digging and shoveling.
Even spinning for an hour doesn't burn 1,000 calories. But
well, I burnt 1,000 calories this afternoon per hour.
But what I will say is, we've all learnt it, and it's going to taste good.
Sure is. Right, I'm on washing up duty. Wowza.
So these are pretty much ready to serve now.
Oh my gosh.
The beauty of the Arga is this will now just go in the lowest oven. Which I think is around 100 degrees, but for something like this, it's fine. It will just keep them warm. The last bit of duck fat will be soaked up, and then they'll be super crispy. But I would say they're about perfect at that point, aren't
they look incredible.
Right, here we go.
Got the plates warming up down there as well.
Warming up, gravy on, got the collie cheese. It's probably not far off, yeah. I'll probably put that bit.
Looks good. Well, that was quite possibly one of Charlie's best ever roasts. It was absolutely scrumptious. We have just been relaxing on the sofa. I have been reading through my 3 gardening books. Goodness me, I'm just obsessed. I am obsessed with my new hobby. I hope I'm not boring you all to death with it, but judging from the comments on the video that went live tonight, I think most of you are enjoying the gardening content, but I promise it's not going to be only gardening from here on out. In fact, I think I have some fashion deliveries arriving tomorrow, so my next vlog should be a little bit more fashion focused, with some gardening sprinkled in, of course, because if the sun is out, then I will be outside tinkering away. But I'm now going to spend a little bit of time having a very relaxing makeup removal session, my Sunday evening pamper. I've got a new, I think it's watermelon, cleansing balm from Elemis that I'm excited to try out, and then I'm going to give myself a nice little facial massage. So I'm going to find a nice long gardening themed YouTube video to watch. In fact, there's one from Gardening Answer. I think she's just published something about planting an orchard. So I'm going to pop that on. So I will bid you good night. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed today's vlog, just having a nice relaxed day with us out in the sunshine. And I will see you on Thursday.